It was financial journalist Gene Chotsky who said, "Debt certainly isn't always a bad thing. A mortgage can help you afford a home. Student loans can be a necessity to getting a good job. Both are investments worth making, and both come with a fairly low interest rate." In this lesson, we're going to explain the options available for student loans. We will calculate the interest due in various student loan situations, and we will apply the simplified daily interest formula, all to answer the question, how can you pay for post-high school education? Before we begin, let's make sure we're ready for this lesson by looking at warm-up number 2. Evaluate these expressions. When R is 0.1, N is 12, and T is 2. To do this, I'm going to use my handy TI-30XS. I'm going to hit the fraction button with a 1 on top. Down arrow into the denominator, open the parentheses, 1 plus the fraction button. Now in the numerator, I'm going to put 0.1, and in the denominator, a 12. To the right, to close those parentheses, I'm going to hit the exponent. 12 times 2 is 24. Now I'm going to hit the right arrow to come out of the exponent, hit -1, and enter. This is going to give me approximately 4.5. To evaluate the second one, I'm going to hit the fraction button, 1 in the numerator, down arrow into the denominator, open parenthesis, 1 plus fraction, 0.1, down arrow, 12, right arrow out of the fraction, close the parenthesis, exponent, 24, right arrow to come out of the exponent, right arrow to come out of the fraction entirely, -1, and hit equals. And here I'm going to get a negative 0.18. Now let's take a look at a problem that you will be able to do by the end of this lesson. P took out a private 8-year loan for $6,000 at an interest rate of 5.56%. How much will he pay in interest? We should be familiar with this monthly equation at this point, and when we fill in the value and use our calculator, we get $77.57. We multiply this by the 96 payments that will be made over 9 years, and we get $7,446.72. Subtract the original $6,000 loan, and we get $1,446.72. You may not know now exactly what you want to do or be in the future, but it is safe to say that you want more than to just be a high school student. Once you graduate, there are options to be explored as a student of higher education, an employee at a job, or a member of the military. This lesson focuses on the education option as an essential question of how will you pay for higher education. Examine these statistics on student loans. More than 60% of higher education students borrow to cover the costs. There is more than $1.2 trillion in student loan debt, and the amount is expected to increase. Student loan debt is the second highest household debt. Mortgage debt is the highest. The graduating class of a recent year had an average student loan debt of $28,500. The annual costs at institutions of higher learning are projected to reach $102,000 for private institutions and $45,500 for public institutions by 2033. It is reported that more than $20 billion in profit is generated each year from debts of student loans. Higher education is more than just colleges and universities. Another option is career school, which are specialized institutions that provide students with the necessary skills to be successful at a particular job. Career schools are sometimes known as trade, vocational, or technical schools. Here's a brief list of technical school programs. There are a few too many options really available, like appliance repair, automotive repair, carpentry, cosmetology, culinary arts, electronics, graphic design, healthcare, hospitality, information technology, landscaping, medical assistance, nursing, photography, physical therapy, real estate, vet tech, welding, and x-ray tech. Students wishing to attend career schools can apply for subsidized and unsubsidized federal loans just as students who want to attend college and universities. It is important to note that the school you choose must be accredited and participate in the federal aid program. Whether higher education in your future comes in a form of attending a four-year college or university, a community college, or a career school, chances are that you will need to take out a loan. For most students, securing a loan to pay for higher education costs is a necessity. Like many major purchases, you need to do your homework before signing on the dotted line for any student loan. The first thing you and your family needs to do is complete the free application for student aid, informally known as FAFSA. It can be accessed at fafsa.ed.gov. Each applicant must supply personal and financial data, which will assist in the loan decision-making process. Although it is a federal form, many private educational and lending institutions require it as well. Once the form is completed and processed, you will receive a Student Aid Report, or SAR. This report will indicate the expected family contribution, or EFC, along with other important information about loans that may be available to you. There are two major types of student loans that you can apply for: federal loans and private loans. The federal government funds and makes available a federal loan, a loan issued by a bank, a credit union, a school, or even state agency is considered a private loan. Your financial institution may dictate which type of loan you are eligible for. There are some substantial differences between the two that include payoff terms, interest rates, and more. There are a number of different federal loans available. As we're going to go through, you can obtain detailed information from the Office for U.S. Department of Education about these types of federal loans at studentaid.gov. Most loans have a limit to the amount you can borrow depending on the number of factors. The federal government sets the interest rates from year to year. Now let's explain some options available for student loans. The Federal Direct Subsidized Loan, or Stafford Loan, these are need-based. Students are able to defer interest payments for a period of time. That is, no payment is required on the loan while the student is in school and during a 6-month grace period after graduating. The U.S. Department of Education pays the interest while you are attending school and during that 6-month grace period. The Federal Direct Unsubsidized Loan, Stafford Loan, these are not need-based, and you are expected to pay the interest as it accrues or builds up from the time you receive the loan. No payments are required while you're attending school and during the 6-month grace period after graduation. Federal Plus Loans, parent loan for undergraduate students. These loans allow parents or graduate students to borrow money for college costs. The borrower must be creditworthy. Federal Perkins Loans. This type of loan is available for students with exceptional financial needs. It is extremely important to examine all forms of financial aid that are available to you. If you're interested in a career school, there are a variety of options beyond the traditional federal and private loans that you should explore. The federal student aid website, student.ed.gov, is a great source for all types of information on what might be available to you. In addition to doing the research, more importantly, you need to do the math. In the examples that we're going to do, you're going to learn how and when interest on a student loan occurs. For private and federal unsubsidized loans, the interest will accrue from the moment the money is credited to the student's account. For federal subsidized loans, the interest does not accrue while the student is in school and during the 6-month grace period after graduation. Whatever loan you choose to apply for, be sure you understand all of the repayment options and how you can affect the total amount you will pay over the life of the loan. The examples we're about to do are going to assist you in making financial decisions about loan payment options. As an incoming freshman, Ariana received a 10-year, $9,100 Federal Direct Unsubsidized Loan with an interest rate of 4.29%. She knows that she can begin making loan payments 6 months after graduation, but interest will accrue from the moment the funds are credited to her account. How much interest will accrue while she is still in school and over the 6-month grace period for this freshman year loan? With an unsubsidized loan, the students are responsible for interest accrued while they are in school and during the grace period. While they don't have to start loan payments until 6 months after they leave school, the interest starts to accrue as soon as the funds are credited. The student loan interest during the non-payment period is calculated using the simple interest formula. That I equals PRT. This means we're going to have 9,100 times 0.0429 times 4.5, the 4 years of in school and the 6-month grace period. This means the interest she's going to pay is $1,756.76. Her new principal at the end of 4.5 years is the sum of the loan amount, the $9,100, and the interest, $1,756.76. Let's check our understanding. Write a formula for the amount of interest that would accrue over 4 years in college plus a 6-month grace period on a Y-year loan in the amount of A dollars at an interest rate of R. We know that the time period is 4.5. We don't exactly know what the rate is, so we'll just call that R and divide everything by 100. This will allow the whatever percent number to be turned into a decimal. And this is multiplied by the amount of dollars borrowed, which is A. So we can see that the interest would be equal to all of that. Ariana has a choice. She can wait until the end of the grace period and have all of the interest accrued added to the principal, when she would start repaying her loan using the new principal, which is the sum of the loan amount and the interest accrued during the non-payment period. In this case, she pays nothing for the 4 years in school and the 6-month grace period. During that time, interest is still accrued at 4.29%. Her accumulated interest will be added to the total loan when the repayment period begins. This is known as interest capitalization. The interest will increase the loan principal, and she will then be paying interest on both the original amount and the interest accrued for the 4.5 years. Her second option is that she could pay only the interest each month while in school and during the grace period, so that at the end of the 4.5 years, her loan amount for freshman year is still $9,100. The next examples will help us see how mathematicians can assist in making the decision about which interest option is best for your circumstances. Ariana can elect to defer all payments during the 4.5 year period. Her loan balance would then be the sum of the amount borrowed and the interest accrued over the 4.5 year non-payment period. Determine the interest she would pay on the loan. The new principal is the sum of the loan amount and the interest accrued during the non-payment period. This means $9,100 plus $1,756.76 to give a loan amount of $10,856.76. Now, we already know what our monthly formula is, so we just need to substitute in the values that we know for this situation. We substitute each of those values in, and using a little bit of calculator kung fu, we get $111.42. Her total payments of $111.42 times 120 payments would be $13,370.40. Her interest for the loan is that $13,000 number minus the $9,100 of her original loan, meaning her interest is $4,270.40. Let's check our understanding of this. Luke took out a 10-year Federal Direct Unsubsidized Loan for $15,000 with a 4.29% APR. If he makes no payments during the first 4.5 years, what will be the new loan amount? The first thing we need to figure out is the interest that will occur during that 4.5 years they're not making payments. This means that the interest will be $2,895.75. Let's not forget that this is going to be added to the original $15,000 of the loan, meaning the actual loan now is $17,895.75. Let's extend our understanding here. Suppose Ariana had taken out a subsidized loan for the same amount at the same interest rate for the same loan length. How much interest would she have to pay for the time she is in school and during the 6-month grace period? Nothing. It's subsidized, so the federal government covers that part of the interest. Suppose that Ariana only paid the interest during her 4 years in school and the 6-month grace period. What will Ariana now pay in interest over the term of the loan? Ariana has already paid the $1,756.76 in interest over the 4.5-year period. At the end of the 4.5 years, Ariana now has a 10-year loan at 4.29% on her original loan amount of $9,100. Using the monthly payment formula, we fill in all of the known values, and we find that the monthly payment of $93.39. So Ariana's monthly payment would be approximately $93.39. Her total payment is the product of her monthly payments and the number of payments she will make. She will make a total of 120 payments, meaning she will pay back $11,206.80. If we subtract the $9,100 of the original loan, we can see that she pays in interest $2,106.80. Ariana will pay this $2,106.80 in interest over a 10-year period for borrowing the $9,000. Her total interest is the sum of interest from the non-payment period and the interest accrued over the 10-year life, which means we have to add to this the $1,756.76 she has already paid, meaning her total interest paid is $3,863.56. This brings the total payments for the loan to $12,963.56, because if we add up everything she paid through the 10 years and before with interest, we get that $12,963.56. Let's check our understanding. What percent of the original loan amount of $9,100 would Ariana be paying in interest if she only paid the interest for the 4.5-year period preceding the start of the loan repayment? So over the life of the loan, she will have paid $3,863.56, but the loan was $9,100. This, if we then multiply by 100 to turn that decimal into a percent, we will get 42.5%. Now let's apply the simplified daily interest formula. In example 3, Ariana chose to pay only her interest each month. It is due on the first of the month. How did Ariana calculate the interest she needed to pay? Ariana used the simple daily interest formula, which gives her the amount of interest accrued since the last time she made a payment. Basically, the formula determines the daily interest amount for the year using the simple interest formula and then multiplies that amount by the number of days, D, since the last payment. So this is the amount of the loan times the number of days times the rate divided by 365. Suppose Ariana made interest payments for March 1st. Her next interest payment would be due on April 1st, which is 31 days from the last payment. So she would do $9,100 times the 31 days times the interest rate of 0.0429 divided by 365. This would give her an interest of $33.16. She should make that payment for March. Note that Ariana can also use the simplified daily interest formula to calculate the daily interest amount using D as 365 or 366 in a leap year. Notice that the simplified daily interest formula becomes the simple interest formula that we learned in a previous lesson if our number of days is 365. This would be the simple interest formula when the year is 1. This will yield an interest for year 1. She then can get the daily interest amount by dividing the yearly interest by 365 or 366 on a leap year. Once she has the daily interest amount, she can multiply that by the number of days since she made her last payment. In order to make sure she covers the full amount, the daily rate should be rounded to the nearest penny. Let's check our understanding of this. James has a $7,500 unsubsidized 10-year loan with an interest rate of 4.29%. He wants to pay the interest while he's attending school. His payment is due on the 10th of each month. He has made his last payment on February 10th, and this is a leap year. Calculate the amount he will pay on March 10th. Keep in mind there are 366 days in a leap year. So the simple daily interest formula we're going to use has a 366 as the denominator instead of a 365. The amount of the loan is $7,500. The days is 29 because February in a leap year is 29 days, not 30. The book was setting you up for a mistake. The rate is 0.429, and we're going to divide that by 365. This is going to give us $25.49. Examples 2, 3, and 4 illustrated different payment options with an unsubsidized loan. Perkins loans and subsidized Stafford loans work differently than unsubsidized loans because the interest does not accrue until the student begins repayment. Private student loans are similar to car and personal loans. As soon as the money is deposited into the student account, the borrower is expected to make payments. It is critical that you understand the payment options for whatever loan you get. Instead of a federal loan, suppose Ariana had been able to get a private loan at a slightly higher interest rate of 6.4% for the same period of time with immediate repayment. That is, as soon as the funds are deposited in her account, she must begin making a monthly payment. What would her monthly payment be, and what would her total amount of payment be? How much would she have paid in interest? Now, we should become familiar with this monthly payment formula at this point, and by all means refer back, but here I have filled in the values already so that we can use the calculator and get $102.87. Ariana's monthly payment would be approximately $102.87. Her total payment for the product of her monthly payments and the number of months she will be making payments. So multiply that by 120 and we get $12,344.40. If we subtract the original loan amount, we can see $3,244.40. So Ariana will pay $3,244.40 in interest over the 10-year period for borrowing $9,100 and begin making payments when the principal is deposited into her account. Let's check your understanding of that. P took out a private 8-year loan for $6,000 at an interest rate of 5.56%. How much will he pay in interest? We should be familiar with this monthly equation at this point, and when we fill in the value and use our calculator, we get $77.57. We multiply this by the 96 payments that will be made over 9 years, and we get $7,446.72. Subtract the original $6,000 loan, and we get $1,446.72. As you can see from all these examples, there is plenty of math to be done before making the decision about which loan to choose. In many instances, you might wind up making a combination of loans. The paperwork that you will keep will be very important so that you can pay all the loans on time and avoid getting penalty charges.